Buckle up, excellence junkies, because this podcast is definitely for you. Welcome to Rockafuel. Do you wish that you could surround yourself with people that love to kick ass just like you? Well, come to my party, baby, and meet some of the brightest stars in the entrepreneurial galaxy, because it is my mission to give these entrepreneurs a platform to declare what they are on this planet to accomplish and to show you why they are rocket fuel. And we're live! Hey guys, today, my dear Rocketeers, I have a teaser for you because we have an amazing guest today that really is here to raise us Gen X women up and say, guess what? You can still have, a career and a work and do the things that you like, but you may not necessarily have to set your alarm every single morning. What? This is crazy. Well, Sailynn Doyle, it's been, I believe, 5 years since you last set your alarm in the morning for work. Mm-hmm. And we just had an amazing episode just talking about the entire journey. So let's just kind of tease people a little bit and give them at least the short version of why you even started doing this sort of work. I know that you were an entrepreneur and you owned what type of business before this work?
I had a senior home care franchise before this.
Mm-hmm. And so what I loved as part of that process was, obviously there were many lessons, but you had mentioned how finally seeing people reflect upon their regrets was something that really sat with you. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I worked in senior home care for 13 years, 10 of my own business. And
wow.
When you're working with someone at the end of their life and you're listening to their regrets, their woulda, coulda, shoulda, I should have spent more time with my kids. I should have taken that vacation. I should have done that. No one ever says I should have stayed at the office longer.
Yeah.
It really makes you take stock of your life, or at least it should. And for me, every day hearing that in my head, I was like, wow, what am I meant to do here? What am I passionate about? I knew I was passionate about helping women, but I knew that I couldn't do it as much in that industry. And so it was time for a change. So blew up the life, sold the business.
Yeah, you made just a small change. Yeah. So let's talk about what this change was.
Yeah. Sold everything, downsized to 400 square feet, and basically took off in the RV, landed in Florida, and kind of said to myself, how can I continue to live this life that I've been living, this lifestyle for the past 3 months, where I can do what I want, when I want, from where I want, but, also help women. And that's where I kind of, really started questioning, what am I passionate about?
Yeah. And what we dig really deep into this in the longer episode, but you brought up something about Gen X women, or just Generation X period, that was fascinating and so spot on. And you talked about us kind of being crammed in the middle of baby boomer lifestyle, millennial lifestyle, and we're kind of kind of liking both and confused. So can you talk a little bit more about that? This is good stuff.
Sure. So our parents are baby boomers, right? So they said to us, you're going to go to college, you're going to get married, you're going to have 2.5 kids, and you are going to work your career for 40 years, and then you're going to retire at 65. Of course,
buy a house that you're going to be in forever, and
retire at 60. And now for us, I think it says 75 or something.
Right.
And then this millennial generation started coming up behind us as we were getting to the peak in our careers. And they have just totally not done things how we did. They're really going after their dreams. They're doing a lot of side hustles. They are working from home, working from wherever. And they're really, I think, making us question, like, is what mom and dad taught us all these years really the only option, or can we change it up? And so for all of us that are in our 40s, early 50s, we're saying to ourselves, right now, like, what are we passionate about? Do I want to work for another 20 years in this same role? Do I want a change? And what is that? And that is scary as heck.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I also want to comment about our reflection of the millennial generation. So I feel this is my own personal journey. Like in the beginning, when we were younger, and then they're coming in their 20s, and we're like, what is this? Like, and especially as an employer, right? So we were like, oh my goodness, like these people really value work-life balance, and they call out of work for a full day concert, and like all of these things that are at first we're just like, how irresponsible or whatever, right? And it's just because we were working under these guidelines of the previous generation of what good work ethic was, and what you should quote unquote be doing, right? And then we, as managers of millennials, I feel like we kind of look at it, and you might be a little peeved, but then you look like, yeah, but actually maybe
they're onto something, right?
there may be something like valuable to look at this. So there's this like transition of like first being like, oh, they're so hard to manage and whatever, and then an appreciation of how the values are different, and then saying, okay, well, maybe I'm not there, maybe the pendulum swung,
Yeah.
but we're in the middle. So either we get stuck in the old way, or we open our eyes to say, well, maybe there's a little bit of the new way that I want to integrate. And in a way, we're actually in a lucky position, right? Because
we're very lucky.
We have the benefit of actually experiencing deeply both of those generations, and being able to cherry pick. And then, what you're saying, and with this wonderful, guide that you put together, and, for those Rocketeers that are listening, that we always provide a catchword, so our experts, can actually provide you with something of value after you've been inspired by this, right? But you put together this amazing guide. You call it the Gen X Survival Guide, but the key to this Gen X Survival Guide is really developing this morning routine, and it's kind of an opportunity for you to start opening your mind up to what balance looks like for you. So I'm going to offer the audience the opportunity to text it first, and then we're going to talk about it for a second. So guys, to receive this, I highly recommend. I think anybody could benefit from this, but I know Sailynn loves to support Gen X women. But text RF for Rocket Fuel -balance to 411321 if you're in the US. That's RF-balance to 411321 to immediately receive this Gen X Survival Guide and these amazing, great suggestions on developing a morning routine. And of course, if you are listening outside of the United States, you can text it as well. Just text to +1 909 741 1321. That's +1 909 741 1321. And the message is RF-balance. Obviously, in both of those cases, we'll be asking for your email address if you've never texted a catchword before. And that's, of course, how you're going to get this handy dandy PDF. If you don't know what I'm holding, check out the YouTube video as well, because I'm just holding an actual physical piece of this PDF. So tell me, Sailynn, why was it that you chose morning routine as the thing that you wanted to gift the audience?
So I think one of the things that I realized in my journey is when you start your day, instead of in reaction mode to your alarm going off, kids crying, something going on, and you're more proactive with your morning, literally 10 minutes can totally set you up for a better day, a better week, a better month,
Yes.
really a better life. And so I was challenged to implement it into my life. And as someone who is not a morning person, I was not excited about this. But I took that challenge, and 90 days later, I put my head up and I was like, oh my gosh, like I am in a totally different place because I was focusing on the things that was going to move my life personally and professionally forward. And I was also really realizing how much amazingness I already had in my life. And there was
Yeah.
just a lot of things that I just needed to tweak or change my mindset. And our generation, I don't think, was huge on personal development. That self-help aisle at the bookstore, I always thought was for someone else, not me. And
Right.
so, this
It's like,
kind of
who are
is
those
for
woo-woo people that are reading those softy
exactly.
books?
Exactly. But if no matter where you are in your life journey, if you got it all figured out, this is something that will only add to that. If you're someone that's kind of has an idea of where you want to go, but you're still trying to work towards this big goals, this is only going to solidify and help you on your journey. And if you're someone who's brand new, like I was, just a short 4 or 5 years ago, this is like a great first dip your toes into the personal development world. And I can tell you, the women that I work with that do this and commit, they totally are so grateful for how they feel, emotionally, physically, all of that when they commit to those 90 days. And after that 90 days, it's no longer a challenge. It's like, this is part of my life. This is what I do now. This is the new norm.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's critical. It's also something that literally you could see very fast results,
Very.
especially if things are feeling a little dark and confused right now.
Mhm.
Just spending that time could really be transformational. I mean, you're going to feel it. Other people will kind of get that vibe from you. It's awesome. All right. So we're wrapping up our teaser episode, guys. There's so much more that we talked about in our longer episode, and even the longer episode, we were like, we could go on forever. But tell us quickly how you currently serve people, Sailynn.
So currently, you should head over to my website. I have coaching on there. My brand is all about skincare, coaching, and lifestyle. And this morning routine is part of my coaching division. And it's really just about helping women find their passion, thrive with purpose, and lead with posture. And so we can all just really enjoy this one life that we get, because if you didn't know, you only get one, and
Yeah.
tomorrow's not guaranteed.
Uh-huh.
So don't take it for granted, and like start today. Go text the catchword, and really take this moment, take these 10 seconds, 10 minutes, whatever it is, just to kind of think about you and your life and what you want.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. And so once again, you could text RF-balance to 411321 if you're in the US. Outside of the US, to +1 909 741 1321. What does that get you? This awesome Gen X survival guide, but a very, very quick way of starting to establish what a good motivating morning routine is going to be, so you could shake it up and start progressing forward, create the life that you absolutely love. And make sure to also visit Sailynn and check out all the other wonderful things that she does at passionpurposeposture.com. Thank you so much, Sailynn. I hope you have a rocking day wherever you're moseying in your RV, in your life of travel. And for those of you listening, my dear Rocketeers, I hope that you have a rocking day. Bye now.